Yes, hello everyone, welcome back. Today in this session we are going to start chapter 3 of your English LIT book. I hope and believe that you are ready with your books. If not, kindly get ready with your books, and as we do usually, sit with your pencils so that you can mark the hard words throughout or whenever it is necessary. So the name of the chapter is Do Trees Have Feelings? Okay, as you can see in the board, there are like two trees out there. So with this you can understand, and I have give these trees the human attributes, like the trees are smiling. Do they do so? That we are going to understand in this chapter. Understood? Do they have feelings? Like do they have their own family? Understood? And if you cut one tree, does other tree have feeling for them? Understood? This kind of things we will understand in this chapter. This is a very interesting chapter. We never thought like that. Understood? So that do trees have feelings? We just do it, like cut it randomly. Understood? Cutting the trees. Understood? Destroying them. But we never thought of that do they actually have any kind of feelings or not? That only we are going to understand in this chapter. So first of all, trees live in communities. One thing you have to understand, when there is one tree growing in a particular area, it might not grow very well. Understood? Might not grow very well. But in case you will see that if there is a community of trees together, the tree flourishes and blossoms more better. Understood? That means trees ko bhi family ke saath rehna pasand hai. They also want themselves to be nurtured, to blossom themselves in a particular, in a very communal environment. Understood? In a community basically. So that only, just go through. Years ago I stumbled across a patch means underline, and write down piece, P-I-E-C-E, piece, tukda, okay, a patch of strange looking mossy stones in one of the preserves of old beech trees in forest I manage. Carefully I lifted the moss on one end and found a tree bark. I had stumbled on the gnarled, this is gnarled, G-N-A-R-L-E-D, gnarled, underline, write down rough, R-O-U-G-H, rough, remains of an enormous ancient tree stump, a tree that must have been felled at least 400 or 500 years earlier. But now could the remains have clung on to life or so long? It was clear that the surrounding beeches were pumping sugar to stump this, to keep it alive. Now what had happened was that he is saying that once in a while I went across a forest and I stumbled upon. Understood? Stumbled upon means like ठोकर खाना. Understood? गिर जाना. So I stumbled upon mossy stone. Mossy stone means, understood, a stone जिसके ऊपर green color का वो क्या कहते हैं उसे, a green color of algae. Understood? A kind of patch it develops, that is known as moss. बारिश में रहने से greenish color का हो जाता है वो. Understood? So he had stumbled upon a mossy stone. Understood? And then what happened? He carefully lifted it and he saw it was not actually a stone, it was a tree stump. You know what is actually a tree stump means? After you cut down the tree, there is this much portion which is left. You cannot cut the tree right from the root से उठा करके कोई ट्री को नहीं फेंक सकते. So आधा काटने के बाद जो बचा हुआ पार्ट है, that is known as a stump. Understood? So it was basically a tree stump, understood, which seemed that, and it was of an old beech tree, B-E-E-C-H. Understood? I guess you have got a picture out here in page number 19. You can see beech tree. It is not possible in our locality. I guess it is not there in beech tree. So it is a huge tree, as you can see in page number 19. Okay, the first picture जो दिया हुआ है. So it was a stump of a beech tree, and the poet is saying, the author is saying that it might have been cut more than 500 or 400 years ago. Understood? But the tree was quite alive. When he tested it, it found that the tree अभी तक जिंदा है, काटने के बावजूद भी. Why? Because there were other trees, and the other trees were continuously pumping sugar for him. The glucose which the tree requires for its nourishment was already being provided by the trees which were there in the locality. अपने root से वो connected रहता है नीचे नीचे. So from one root to another, what happened? The trees, they passed on glucose. See the friendliness. If they did not have feelings, क्या ज़रूरत था ये सब करने का? But they are passing that glucose to that tree stump which has been cut more than 400 or 500 years ago. It proves that they have feeling. Point 1. Clear? Next part. Trees share food with their own species. They always share their food with their own species for the same reasons as human communities they do. Like human, they share their food. The trees also, they share their food within their own species. There are advantages to working together, and in this protected environment, trees can live to be very old. So one tree gives food to another. If one tree has enormous or abundance of food, it gives it to other. So what happens is that all the tree specifically grows very properly. इसीलिए forest में trees they don't die very easily because one tree is helping the other. But घर में अगर आप tree लगाते हो देखते हो it can like die or something might happen, understood? But in forest you will see that the trees they grow more properly and all the trees are healthy in forest most probably, understood? So why does it happen? Because trees they love to grow with other trees in a particular community, in a particular community, so that one tree might help the other tree, understood? Next, the third paragraph, to get this point the community must remain intact. So if you keep on cutting the trees, उनके community को तोड़ते रहोगे, trees will not grow properly, understood? So you must keep the community intact, सटीक रखना है. If each tree were looking out for only itself, then quite a few would never reach old age. Regular fatalities would result in many large gaps in the tree canopy. You know what is a canopy? Canopy means like 2-3 trees are there, huge trees are there, understood? And then the topmost part of the tree, understood? जो tree का जो crown होता है, what you say that, understood? Like this part of the tree, understood? So this part and this part, many trees they grow in the forest. Then what happen? These parts they join together and it creates like an umbrella kind of a thing, understood? And it is become an in dense forest, in घने जंगल में क्या होता है? It becomes so deep, the canopies become so deep that the sunlight cannot penetrate deep inside. And when you get inside the forest, you feel that it is dark inside. It's night. And when you go out from the forest, you feel that oh, day is there. The trees they are so dense, and one these things, the umbrella which they make together, understood? By joining their crowns, it is known as canopy, understood? So what happened? Would result into large gaps in the canopy. But when you cut down trees, then what happen? There becomes gap in the canopy. Like umbrella में छेद हो जाता है. अगर आप tree काट दोगे एक दूसरे का, then what will happen? So canopies will become like खुल जाएगा, understood? And sunlight can enter them, understood? So it is like we are cutting and there is a gap emerging between the canopy, which would make it easier for storms to get inside the forest and uproot more trees. Then what happens? If you cut one tree, then what will happen? The canopy will break, वो umbrella टूट जाएगा, वो shelter टूट जाएगा. Then what will happen is that storms can inside. Storms, you know, storms like in Tufan and all, they can get inside the forest, and what can they do? They can devastate the forest, understood? Like they can uproot more trees. और trees को जड़ से उखाड़ के फेंक सकते हैं, जंगल के अंदर घुस जाएगा, understood? Storms. So you should not cut trees for this reason, so that the canopies remain properly, वो umbrella ठीक से रहेगा, and then your this thing, your storms cannot enter inside the forest. So this you have to understand. The heat of the summer would reach the forest floor and dry it out. And when you cut trees, canopies break, then what will happen? The sunlight can also enter the deep inside it, understood? And then it can heat up the land. Every tree therefore is valuable for the community and worth around for long as possible. So every tree is valuable. हर एक दोस्त एक दूसरे के लिए they have possible to live together. They live together. They don't like to live alone, understood? They grow in communities. Community means एक society में grow होना पसंद करते हैं. Next this thing part you can say, trees warn each other of danger. You know that trees, when a danger comes, the trees understand what kind of danger they are coming and they warn, they give a electric signal kind of a thing, और जिससे सारे trees को पता चल जाता है that what is going to happen, understood? So like you will see now what happens. This is a very interesting thing, understood? This I also did not know earlier that what happened, like tree कैसे message pass करते हैं. Like you do message in WhatsApp, the trees also message each other, understood? Inside the forest, if some danger they sense coming. 4 decades ago, decades means a period of 10 years, ठीक है? 10 साल के period को decade बोला जाता है. So 4 decade means 4 into 10, 40 years, okay? So 4 decade means 40 years ago, scientists noticed something on the African savanna. Savanna means grassland, which is there in Africa. Grassland, बड़े बड़े huge grasslands, ठीक है? Giraffes were feeding on umbrella thorn acacias. Umbrella thorn acacia is again a kind of a tree, a species of tree, okay? So what happened was that some giraffe came and started eating the leaves of this umbrella thorn acacias. The picture is given, you can see. Page number 19 में picture दिया है. So giraffe came and started eating the leaves of this plant, okay? The plant got very angry, and then what happened? The plant started producing like toxic gases, understood? From the leaves, toxic chemicals and gases वो छोड़ना start कर दिया leaves से. And then what happened? Giraffe felt very like from where is it coming? But the leaves were doing that. Leaves कर रहे थे ताकि giraffe ना खाए उन leaves को. Trees को भी दुखता है. Trees also get pain, understood? So they were what you say that secreting those kind of gases, understood? And then what happened, the giraffe passed by and वो gas फिर दूसरे acacia में गया, then it passed on to other, and all the trees together they started emitting that kind of gas, and then the giraffe ran away from that place. So interesting. Okay, so see what happened. And trees didn't like this. So trees did not like that the giraffe were eating their leaves. It took the acacias mere minutes, mere means कुछ ही second लगे, to start pumping toxic substances into their leaves. Okay, so they started pumping toxic substances into their leaves. The giraffes got the message and moved on to other trees, but they didn't start nibbling until they were 100 yards away. Understood? So they didn't start nibbling until they were 100 yards away. So giraffe ने खाना ही बंद कर दिया. Nibbling मतलब कुतर कुतर के खाना, understood, like to pick into small pieces and eat. Okay, so the giraffes they ran away 100 meters away, 100 yards away. This reason for this behavior is astonishing. The trees that were being eaten gave off a warning gas, and the name of the gas which the trees they started secreting was which gas? Underline, it is ethylene. Understood? Ethylene was the gas, okay, that signaled the neighboring trees of the same species that a crisis was at hand. So all the trees they understood that कोई crisis आ रहा है, understood, and everybody started signal मिलने के बाद all the trees started pumping the toxic substance. Okay, right away all the forewarned the trees pumped toxins into their leaves to prepare themselves, and slowly what happened, all the trees into the area they started pumping the same chemical gas, and the giraffe ran away. Okay, similar processes are at work in 4 forests. Beeches, spruce and oaks all register pain as soon as a creature nibbles them. And not only this acacia tree but many other trees like beeches, spruce, oak, इन सबको भी pain होता है. This scientists have claimed. Okay, now as soon as कोई उसके आप अगर nibbling करना start करते, कुतरना start करते उनके leaves को, then what happened, they also sense pain inside them. Understood? Scientists they have said that when a caterpillar takes a bite, no, you have seen how caterpillar they take eat the leaves. So when caterpillar takes a bite of a leaf, the tissue around the side of them changes. In addition, the leaf tissue sends out an electrical message just as human does when hurt. So what happened, when a caterpillar also eats a leaf, no, then also the tree understands that somebody is eating my leaf. Then the tree what happened, produces a kind of electric message, and all the trees they understand that somebody has coming and somebody is eating me up. Trees को भी पता चलता है, understood, when they are getting damaged. Now the last paragraph, young trees are kept in check by their mothers. Trees also have their mothers, understood, and big trees they protect their children, they also protect their young ones, understood. This is also the scientists they have said. How they do, like trees also are family, so never go and break their families. Okay, they also have feelings. Young beech trees are so keen on growing quickly that it would be no problem at all for them to grow about 18 inches taller per season. So beech trees, it is seen that they grow very faster. They grow 18 inches taller per season. Understood? हर एक season में आता है, and they grow 18 inches longer. Beech trees, okay? Beech tree का photo दिया है. You can see a huge, enormous tree, okay? Unfortunately for them, unfortunately means bad luckily or durbhagyavash, which you say in Hindi. Unfortunately for them, their own mothers do not approve of rapid growth. They shade their offspring with enormous crowns. Crowns, I told you, no? This top part is known as a crown, okay? And the crowns of all the mature trees close up to form a thick canopy over the forest floor. और आपको ये भी पता है that how they join their crowns together and they form a canopy in the forest so that the sunlight cannot enter, okay? The canopy lets only 3% of the available sunlight reach the ground, and therefore the children's leaves. With that amount of sunlight, a tree can photosynthesize just enough to keep its own body from dying. So see what happened, they make a canopy, and then what they do is that they only make a canopy so thick that only 3% of the sunlight can enter, and that much sunlight can only enter so that they can only photosynthesize, खाना बनाने के लिए photosynthesis कर सके, उतना ही sunlight घुसता है. Dr. Suzanne Simard describes mother trees as dominant trees widely linked to other trees in the forest through their fungal root connections. These trees pass their legacy to the next generation and exert their influence in the upbringing of the youngsters. My small beech trees, which have now been waiting for at least 80 years, are standing under the mother trees for about 200 years old. The wait time is, however, made bearable. Their mothers couldn't contact them, their roots, and pass along sugar and nutrients, you might ever say, nursing their babies. So this was a chapter. In the last paragraph it is said that there was a doctor, Dr. Suzanne Simard. He says that mother trees, they protect the baby trees, understood, and they keep on passing the glucose for years and years, understood, and they also protect themselves from sunlight so that they cannot damage themselves, understood, and only 3% of sunlight is allowed to get inside so that they can photosynthesize the baby trees, so that the baby trees are so nicely protected they can go long for 200 years tak wo log zinda reh sakte hain, understood. So this was claimed by the scientist. And even the mother trees, from their roots, they pass like glucose to these baby trees, understood, so that they can get nutrients also. Okay, I guess you understood with this. So moral of the story is, don't cut trees, they also have feelings, they also have emotions. I hope you understood. Thank you very much. Yes students, we are back now with the exercises of the same chapter. Like the first, in page number 20, the question says, the toxic substances that acacia trees pump into their leaves is what? The answer is very known. It was ethylene, as I told you. So answer will be C, ethylene. Okay. Next, answer will be C, ethylene. Okay. So cross check it properly. C, ethylene. All these answers are duly provided inside the description box. Kindly go there, download the link, download the PDF, and then write as per your feasibility. So number 2 question says that dash might prevent the trees from living to an old age. Selfishness. If they were selfish, तो old age तक नहीं जी पाते. Understood? They are not selfish. They help each other. एक ट्री को काट दिया गया, ग्लूकोज कंटिन्यूसली प्रोवाइड कर रहा है उस ट्री को, अंडरस्टूड. सो दैट मीन्स दे आर नॉट सेल्फिश, दैट्स व्हाई दे आर हेल्पिंग अदर्स, एंड दैट इज द रीजन दे कैन लिव फॉर years and years. And humans are selfish, they cannot, understood, because they are not ready to help anyone. So trees, if they were selfishness, they would have not lived for 200 and 300 of years, understood. So the third one, this prevents young beech trees from growing at the normal rate 18 inches per season. So what helps? Lack of mother's approval. Okay, so if mother's approval is not there, the young beech trees cannot grow 18 inches per season. Clear? Number 4, mother trees are connected to other trees by the link of fungal root connection. Root connection is there, understood, which keeps on help them passing glucose from one tree to another. Number B, answer these questions in the brief. What are mossy stones? As I told you, mossy stones. What are mossy stones? Mossy stones are remains of tree barks that have been felled and do not die. The tree stumps, which are basically gradually over time, these stumps are covered by moss. Moss means greenish color of like layer of algae. Okay, next question says, how was the old stump continued to stay alive? The old stump continued to stay alive with the help of surrounding beeches, जो उसको help कर रहे थे, and that continued to pump sugar. कैसे help कर रहे थे? By pumping sugar into the it to keep it alive. Clear? Next, the third question, what do some trees in the African savanna do when giraffe come to eat them? The trees release poison gas such as ethylene to warn the other trees of the crisis. एक दूसरे को warning भी देते हैं. And all of the trees then produce toxic gas which drives the giraffe away. Understood? So they start collectively producing a toxic gas, and this gas, when giraffe they inhale it, they run away. Understood? They don't eat that tree. Number 4, why might the giraffe and the caterpillar be perceived as threat to trees? The giraffes and caterpillars को threat क्यों माने? Why should we consider threat for the trees? Because they eat away their leaves, no, and damage their tissues of the trees, understood, which hurt them. And the same way as it does to humans. The human also, if somebody comes and start pinching you out, understood, pinching the skin out, you don't feel hurt? Yes, similarly the trees also feel hurt when you go and just simply pick them up, you tear their like bodies and all, understood. So what happened? The same way they also get hurt like humans do. That is why they release like ethylene and all. Number 5, what is the crown of the tree? the crown of the tree is the topmost layer of part of the tree covered with leaves. The top part of the tree, crown. Understood? You know crown king का होता है, तो वैसे tree का crown क्या है? उसका topmost part. When joined together the crowns of several trees, they form a continuous layer. जब सारे crowns को जोड़ देंगे एक umbrella बन जाएगा. You will have an umbrella that is known as a canopy. Clear? Now the next question, how does part C, okay? How does the mother tree slow down the growth rate of a young beech tree? A mother tree slows down the growth rate of a young beech tree by controlling the amount of sunshine it receives with the help of the crown. Understood? Mother trees help the growth of the other trees by what they do? They just put the canopy over their head so that the trees jaldi se na बढ़ पाए. Understood? So they protect the other trees by controlling the sunshine. ज़्यादा sunshine आएगा, they will grow faster. So they protect it with the canopy so that they can't grow much faster. Okay, copy it down. Yes students, I hope that you have written the previous one. The continuation of the last answer has been given out here also. Just a short reminder, these handwritten notes are being duly provided in the description box and the link below. So you can download the PDF and write as per your feasibility the way you want. Understood? So the short questions are there also as well. So the continuation of the previous question is reflected out here also. The regulates the younger trees process of photosynthesis to an amount that is just enough to keep the trees from dying. So the mother tree also helps the trees to take that much amount of sunlight only which is necessary for the continue the process of photosynthesis. Okay, next the second question says, why do you think it might be unhealthy for the young beech trees to grow too quickly? Why shouldn't the beech trees, why do the mother always protect the trees like your mother do no always protect you? Similarly beech trees, why they are protected by the mother so that they do not grow very faster? प्रोटेक्ट करने का क्या ज़रूरत है? ग्रो होना है होने दो. सो बीच ट्री क्यों प्रोटेक्ट होता है? अंडरस्टूड? मदर ट्रीज, व्हाई डू दे प्रोटेक्ट? द रीजन इज द ग्रोथ ऑफ द ट्री इज रिस्ट्रेन्ड बिकॉज इन दिस वे द मदर ट्री कैन एंश्योर द younger ones and growing slowly yet strongly. ताकि the beech tree might grow very slowly but they might grow very strongly. Clear? So that the mother trees, they protect them. The third one, why is a tree better off with other trees rather than alone? Why does the tree want to remain in community instead of living alone? Because in that way they could help each other by sharing nutrients. Fungal root connection, remember? Through their roots, and warn each other at times of danger. And in the times of danger also they can spread the message and they can warn each other. But अकेले होंगे then could they spend that? No. So they always want to stay in communities or groups. Clear? Next, the fourth one, we use words like mother and baby. So what are the other words? The author suggests the trees to have feelings. Understood? So they and similar emotions like human beings. So he used like those words. The fifth one, there is a proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. What do you mean that? The proverb means that no single being can bring up a younger one on its own. Rather, it takes the efforts of the entire community to do the task effectively. The trees demonstrate this by the sense of communal harmony with the help of which they grow as a family. Understood? So this was your notes. Now I guess you have written it. Download the PDF, write it properly. All the short notes has to be written properly. Understood? This thing. Other parts are also there as well. These notes are also there. You will write it properly from the PDF. Understood? Explanation has been done out here. I guess with this we come to the end of this beautiful chapter. Students, take care. We'll meet up in the next session very soon. Thank you.